Hi, my name is Cynthia Gutierrez, and today I'm going to be talking about the prevention and the rise of antibiotic resistance. Now, viruses are infectious agents that are rather simple, as they need a host in order to live and replicate. Now, the lack of complexity is not something to take actually lightly, as most viruses not long ago were not preventable, let alone curable. Viruses such as the common cold, chickenpox, the infamous influenza of 1918, now known as the flu. Many of these infections and viruses are now not only preventable, treatable, but also curable. But these medical advancements actually have a looming danger to them due to the misuse. In an article by World Health Organization, it recently states that if the world does not begin to change the way it prescribes and uses antibiotics, viruses and harmful bacteria will become antibiotic resistant. Not ourselves, not animals, but rather the virus itself will be able to fight off antibiotics. This will lead to harmful infections that are so much harder to treat and the increase of mortality as well as the threat to our food security. So, how does a virus actually become antibiotic resistant? Well, one in the medical field is the misuse and abuse of drugs. It is also when taking prescriptions that aren't really necessary or let alone prescribed, and simply not preventing infections in the workplace or in your daily lives by not practicing simple hygiene, as simple as washing your hands. However, number two is what I believe not only to be the center of why viruses have become antibiotic resistant. It is also the breeding place to most viruses. And on top of that, the major threat to our food security, which is animal agriculture, more specifically factory farms. Factory farms commonly use drugs in order to promote growth and also it's one of their practices to give antibiotics to animals who are not infected. Why? Why is this done? It is used to prevent the infection instead. The reason why the need for prevention is there is due to their ill practices, due to heavy confinement, abuse, lack of proper food, and not only that, but also the constant walking among or sleeping among their own feces, like chickens, cows, and pigs. Now, these ill practices often lead to infections that the antibiotics can no longer fight off. Once the animal is infected, we now consume it, kids, children, adults, and we become infected. According to Farm Sanctuary, 75% of emerging human diseases all come from other animals. If you go to lifescience.com, you will find that viruses such as the avian flu, the swine flu, are all variants of diseases in which have come from birds, and pigs, of which we consume. Other past or current diseases that are still in today, but also in the past, are diseases such as the bubonic plague that came from rodents, Ebola that came from bats. And even though we don't consume any of some of these, we do come in contact with them due to human activity. So, if we don't start preventing infections like practicing simple hygiene, if we continue to misuse and abuse drugs, if we don't stop the antibiotics unnecessarily used in animals and regulate the practices of factory farms, if we don't take urgent action, according to the World Health Organization, we are heading for a post antibiotic era in which the most common infections, the most simplest injuries, can once again kill. And diseases like the ones we are now involved in will be so much harder to treat. Thank you.